What's up, guys? We have Wisconsin and Northwestern squaring off at 11 a.m. at the Kohl Center. My first thoughts are, when I see this matchup, is that the spread is at 8.5, and it's kind of surprising to me that Vegas is showing Wisconsin that much respect. It's cool to see, and I could see that happening, but I'm a little surprised that the margin's that thick because Northwestern is a really solid team, and last season Northwestern beat Wisconsin, and there's a lot of players returning on each side, but they beat Wisconsin to grinded out defensive battles so that both were post-wall ankle injury, and one was without Klesman. Not taking anything away from Northwestern, but just stating the facts. Northwestern, they're much better offensively this year. I don't expect this, and so is Wisconsin, obviously, but I don't expect this to be that ugly, grinded out, defensive, physical Big Ten battle. It will be a battle. It will be physical, but not to the extent where it was last year, where it was just ugly basketball. Last season, Northwestern, they had a lot of success. They were a 7th seed in the NCAA tournament, won a game in the tournament, almost beat UCLA, took them down to the wire. But they're a much different team because it was amazing that they had that much success last year when they went 40.7% from the field and 32.1% from three. From the field, they were good enough for 342nd in the country in field goal percentage. And they've improved that quite a bit. This year, they're at 47% from the field, up about 7%. And their three-point percentage is now at 37.7, which is 32nd in the country. So, yeah, they're much better offensively, and they average 73 points per game this year rather than 67 points per game last year. And last year, they were that tremendous defensive team, gritty, grinded out, just defensive-minded with Chase Audige leading the way. But he decided not to come back for his 6th year, and that kind of changed the complexion of this Northwestern team, where they obviously, they're much more efficient offensively. And they've had guys internally take jumps, and then they also bring in Ryan Laneborg from Princeton, who gives them the offensive punch, great shooter. But Boo Buie, obviously, he's the head of the snake for Northwestern. He's much better this year. His field goal percentage up 5%. His three-point percentage is up 3%. And those totals are 45 and 34%, respectively. But then you have Brooks Barnheiser and Ty Berry. They've taken big jumps for Northwestern. This is a different look Northwestern team. More efficient offensively. Maybe not as good defensively as they were last season. But Wisconsin, they were a grinded-out defensive team last season as well. But this year, they're one of the most efficient teams in all of college basketball. And they actually have had some three-point shooters regress. You have Klesman, Chucky, and then A.J. Storr transferred from St. John's. They're all shooting worse than they did last year from three. I expect those percentages to go up. But with the three newcomers of Blackwell, Winter, and Storr returning everyone, and everyone looks bigger and stronger. I look at Wisconsin, I see their athleticism, their physicality, their efficiency on the offensive end, and their defense is better than it was last year. I'm leaning towards Wisconsin in this matchup. And the matchup that I am excited about, that I think will have a big impact on who wins, is the battle between Chucky Hepburn and Boo Buie, because Boo Buie has had success against Chucky, and I think Chucky's one of the best on-ball defenders at the point guard position, not only in the Big Ten, but the entire country. Chucky can really be up. He's a solid physical dude, weighing in about 200 pounds, but he can really move his feet really well laterally. So I'll be interested to see, can Boo Buie replicate that success? And he had success in really low-scoring games where I think he put up 20 points in like a 60 to 55 game last year. It was an ugly game, but he still put up 20. But I expect this game to be much prettier than it was last year. It won't be as ugly, but I'm going to lean towards Wisconsin. I think that spread is reasonable. I'm surprised that Vegas is posting at 8.5, but I think that spread is reasonable. I'm going to say Wisconsin won't cover, but they'll be really close to covering. And that's all I got for you. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. If this is your first video with me, make sure to like and subscribe for more college basketball content. I'll see you next time.